Welcome to Conversations here on NTA Network. It's a special edition today, I'm sure you know that. Conversations is for everyone, but today it's all about the women. I've got Divan in the house. Divan, good to see you after so long.
Hi everyone.
All right, and we'll ask our guests to introduce themselves.
Dr. Mariam Jimai Bello Yasin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about yourself, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm a proprietress of a school.
Okay.
And I am a real teacher. Yeah, I started right from grade 2 to NCE, B.Ed, M.Ed, and to doctorate degree. And I've been teaching for quite a long time. I started teaching very early in my early life, and I taught until this time too. I'm still teaching.
Awesome.
Yes, I have had opportunity to work in one place or the other. Federal Character Commission, I work there. I work with Federal Civil Service, Federal Civil Service Commission. I work with Ministry of Defense, and I retired at Petroleum Equalization Fund, a parastatal under NNPC.
Wow.
After 35 years of service.
Awesome. You have a very extensive record in public service. And to our other guests, we'd like to introduce yourself.
My name is Maimuna Umi Abdullah, aka Coach Didi. I'm a personal development as well as a mental health coach. I consult for schools. I work with women and children on mental health issues as well as personal development.
So we're celebrating women. We know what the theme is. If you've been anywhere online, you've seen people doing Break the Bias.
Yeah.
I guess we can all do that.
Yeah,
Break the bias.
Break the bias.
David, tell us how your day was.
Well, it was very sedate.
Okay.
It was that's yesterday, right? I did have plans to link up with some women groups here and there, but somehow it didn't happen.
Okay.
Yesterday was my production day. I'm into full-time YouTubing now, in addition to one or two other things, and I couldn't afford to leave production alone and step away but I did what I could online.
Okay.
To cheer others who are at the front line
Okay.
on, cheer them on to keep up the good fight and so on. But other than that, it was a day spent in production.
Okay. So, ma'am, I would say that you focus more on women in education
Yeah.
more than anything else.
No, really, I touch the lives of women collectively because I have an NGO, Passionate Heart Empowerment Foundation, where I touch the youths, I empower the youths, the less privileged, the physically challenged, and women as well. So it cuts across all women, children, and all that. And I normally give them some therapeutic lessons. Some of the women whom I feel could do better, and they found themselves, maybe they got married very early and they couldn't move on. We get them together, educate them. Some of them, we give them token for a scholarship. We do a lot of mentoring and then getting them to know that they need to work together as a team wherever they found themselves, because I was one time with the Nigerian Air Force base. I taught in that school, so we got the women around, the NAFOA and the airman's wife. We normally mentor them, train them, some of them empower them, like some that we see that can do better. We get them involved in this adult education so that they can brush up their papers. We even register some of them on GCE and so on. And they are doing well. Some of them have even proceeded for NCE and other courses. Some chose to do trading. We assist them and we are happy. Even children, I do give scholarship. I do, and I have even my school. Those of them that are working, the essential workers, their children are attending my school free.
Okay.
Because I felt they cannot be working in that kind of environment and then go home back and start speaking broken English or whatever. So I felt they need to bring their children there so that they belong and they'll be happy working with me.
Yeah.
Okay. Devan, you want to go? I was going to ask.
Yes. What about you? How did you spend your day yesterday?
Actually, yesterday I wrote a workbook on bullying.
Oh, on bullying.
Yes, so I've been promoting the book. So actually, I've been going from school to school, selling the idea to them, because I not only would it's like an interactive workbook for kids, and I give them sessions coaching session on bullying. So actually, basically, that's all I did yesterday. I went
Okay,
for school.
at primary or secondary school
Both
level?
primary and secondary.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm wondering if you have any work done on bullying in terms of use on social media. We have a lot of our kids, a lot of girls who are on social media and see some of these things, have self-esteem issues, because I know you're working on mental development issues, and some of the trolling. It really is online bullying. I don't know if you have if you do any work on online bullying in any form.
Yes, I do, but I haven't written anything actually.
Okay.
Because for most of the schools I work with, and I keep telling them, most kids who suffer from some kind of mental health issue, it stems from low self-esteem.
Right.
So that's why I always encourage schools to inculcate self-awareness programs, because when you're aware of who you are, nobody would tell you who you need to be. Most of these girls who suffer from low self-esteem, who actually go into things, this perfect body image that they see online, the truth is, whether we like it or not, our kids are addicted to social media.
Yeah.
They live their lives on social media.
Yes.
Most of them get sick when you even seize their phones. And they have this image of the perfect woman, and they feel they are not up to that person, and makes them feel less about themselves. And that's because they don't have self-awareness. So if we keep encouraging them to be aware of who they are, everybody has his strengths and weaknesses. So they should focus on their strength, know their weaknesses, and do better.
So what role do we, as the senior sisters, the mothers, the aunties, have to play?
Yeah, but
when it
before
comes
we
to
even
that?
go there, Nika, you haven't shared with us what your day was like yesterday.
I haven't even told you what I did yesterday too.
Okay,
I thought-
let's hear from Nika
Mine
first.
was actually very interesting. There was an International Women's Day program for women in aerospace, which is a sector that I'm active in.
Yeah.
And so we had a very good time. You know, we had presentations, but some of us did a drop challenge. I don't know if you follow social media.
Wait, which one is we had a very good time, and I'm just
did.
hearing about it now. I was not invited. No, you had a very good time. What does that mean? Please break it down.
It was awesome. It was awesome. There was lots of food, lots to drink,
Rub it in.
and then the drop challenge.
Well done.
You know, you need to look for that drop challenge and do it.
Though
Yeah,
I'm hearing about it after the fact.
Okay.
These are the kinds of friends we need in our lives.
We'll hear about.
Mine was I had
Doctor's
fun.
Day.
I had fun, and I was able to mix with people, women of like minds, and women that are on their own. They brought in most of their things that they are selling and whatever they are even producing. Like we were at Sheraton yesterday. Women of substance, women of productive women who stand on their own and mix their life themselves, who are self-reliant, who are very, very hardworking,
Yeah.
were invited for the show at Sheraton. So when we got there, we saw that the women, those doing massage, those that are doing paint, there's
Makeup.
artists, hair gear, and so on, dressing, beads, and all this. They gave them shops, little places, spaces to arrange their things there. We got there, we asked them how they started. A source of inspiration to some of us that are not doing anything.
Yeah.
Because there are people who work in the office and they are not really doing little thing to support whatever they are getting.
Yeah.
So that was an inspiration yesterday. They were so happy. Then after that, we had this catwalk, like models. I was part of them.
Catwalk?
Yeah,
Also?
catwalk. I did it marvelously, and I was one of the best. Yeah, we showcased Nigerian fabrics.
Okay.
I wore this Kampala kind of this dye and tie material, the
Yeah.
fabric
Yes,
I wore.
yeah.
So it was just very nice Nigerian color. So they were so happy. They asked me how I got them, and I told them
Awesome.
that we got them in Ogun State and
Oh,
all that.
fantastic.
Some other people came, we danced, they chose the best, and those who did well, they were given some presentation. They gave them
That's
little
lovely.
things.
It's like I'm the only one
Some-
that spent it in production.
You
We
were busy.
ate and drank. We did a lot of things. We discussed among ourselves.
right.
We exchanged ideas. We exchanged cards and all that.
Yeah,
So
and
it was
a lot
it
of
was fun.
networking
Yeah.
went on.
All right,
That's
we'll be
good.
taking a quick break where we will be taking tributes from everyone on women. We're celebrating International Women's Day here in the Conversations Room. Stay with us.
I wake up before everyone
It's the International Women's Day edition here in the Conversations Room. I've got some very fantastic women in the house. So we're going to shift a little bit and talk about morals because the older we get, the younger ones are coming up and they're watching us. But there are parts of me that wonder some of their requests, some of the things that they ask for. I mean, you'd be amazed at how many of our teenagers, early teens, have very high functioning, very expensive phones, So are we helping them by giving them, are we empowering them by saying, oh yes, they need to have the digital skills by giving them these things? Are we doing the right thing? Are we on the right track?
Let me just quickly give my 5 pence on that. I know there's no running away from smart gadgets nowadays, laptops, phones and things. But I'm the kind of person who is averse to giving a very high-end, let's say for instance, phone to a teenager or a very young person. Reason being that at that point in your life, you have no idea how money is earned. I want you to at least have some appreciation for this thing. You know that there are some of these phones the price of, well, like maybe 7-8 years back, you could buy a very good used car for like 600,000-700,000.
Yes.
And there are some phones that cost that much.
Even
And you see a teenager who does not know how to earn 10,000 naira holding that gadget in his hand. I don't get it. Because there's nothing that iPhone can do for you at that point that a very good techno of 30 to 40,000, which is still more than your typical Nigerian's monthly salary.
Yes.
Yeah? There's nothing that iPhone is doing for you while you're in secondary school that a phone of 30,000 naira cannot achieve. People who go for iPhones and things like this are looking for a certain level of privacy, which even the smaller phones are now starting to adopt some of those technological skills. So for me, I feel as if you should get to a certain point in your life before you can start having those things. You want them. It's not enough for me to give it to you because every other person in your class has it. Every other person in your class is not from my house.
Oh my gosh. You just spoke.
They have their own values.
Honestly.
That's okay.
Honestly.
And I have my reasons for why I don't feel you deserve, even if you're coming tops in class from 1 to from 6, I just don't feel like I should buy you an iPhone. I can reward you in any other way if I need to. First of all, you're not passing the exams for me. So if I reward you, I'm just encouraging you further. It's not something of, it should not be an entitlement thing.
Yeah.
I came first, so I should be rewarded. Sit down and keep quiet. You are passing those exams for you.
Yes.
I could drop dead tomorrow. Whatever is in your head is
It's
what
yours.
will push you forward. So even the reward is optional. And if I choose to reward you, you should not come at me with my 3 friends in the class, they have iPhone 92. It's not me, it's not my way. But I do understand that there are many parents who don't look at it that way. For many parents, it's a symbolic thing. You want your child, you want people to recognize when your child shows up. It's a status thing,
Yes,
and all of that.
It's
So
true.
I people have their different ways. It's not my thing.
Doctor, are we on the right track? What do you think?
We are not on the right track. In fact, it irritates me. In my school, I don't even allow children with a big phone. I only allow Nokia touchlights. And why? Yes, parents know because I've spoken. We had meeting, we sat together, and I told them I don't allow children to come in with their big phones. They will intimidate other students
How
in
are
the
you
class.
able to enforce that though?
And for that, if you have to even have this Nokia touchlight, probably the mother, maybe she wants to come home late, or she will send someone to pick him, or she just want to know something about the child, or she want to pass a message, but not. And once they come to school, they keep it. It is during break that they can handle the phone.
Okay.
And when after break, they take it back to the officer who keeps it for them. We don't allow children to start fumbling with phone. It's very, very annoying. We are only teaching our children how to spend money. We don't teach them how to fend for the money. In our
Exactly.
days, we are not exposed to such kind of nasty things like that. When we're growing up, our parents, even if they have vehicle, they don't take us to school with the vehicle. They want us to trek. But those who made good results, they will now say, for this week or for this term, because you've made your papers, you are going to be taken to school. And that one too is not something that will be regular. Probably they do it for a week and then say you've had your time. Join your friends and start going back to school like that. There are many things that are not allowed in those days that they do these days.
Yes, but
There
will
was
we
a
be blamed for not
yes.
moving with the
We
times?
parents, we have left our responsibility. We just think we can show affluent by giving the children what they don't even know the value. And by the time this child start holding this iPhone at this age, what will interest him when he gets start working? What would he be working for? What would he be struggling to get? He had gotten the vehicle, he has gotten the phone and everything.
The
Then what
excitement
I
is
else?
understand
gone.
that, but
Yes.
speaking about work, there is work even on that device.
Yeah,
Kids
we
are-
know.
they're
But at
making
that
money.
level, they haven't gotten to that level.
Vivian, you're on
They
YouTube.
could
You know
u-
that there are a lot of
Yes.
children YouTubers who are making a whole lot of money.
Yes,
There's
now
a gold
they,
mine
they,
in
they
it
are
somewhat.
ordinarily Western.
Yes.
Ordinarily, you understand? You see, there's a delicate balance between teaching your child how to earn money
And how to spend it.
and how to spend it.
Yeah.
You still want to be able to leverage some level of control over your child up to a certain age. And sometimes it comes to a point where you can only do that economically. Yeah? There are some kids that will hit the age of 13 and all of a sudden they're 6'5".
Sure.
They are standing at 97 kg. They can knock you over with a breath. You still need to be able to have some form of control.
Yeah.
And at a point, that control revolves around money. Believe me, you don't want a bratty 13-year-old having access to millions of naira when you
what?
yourself are earning maybe something in the region of 250,000 a month. You will not be able to stop that child from doing anything.
Yes.
The Smiths, for instance, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, their son, when he was 14, he moved out of the house and rented his own place.
Imagine.
At 14.
At 14.
Yes.
He's not
I've
under
forgotten
anybody's
his
roof.
name, the first one, the boy.
Jaden.
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 Moved out at the age of 14. And the parents tried and tried, as liberal as they are. And he was like, I can rent the space, I can pay my bills.
Yes,
So
he has money.
What am I still doing in your house? He moved out.
That's scary.
That's scary.
Yeah,
Scary.
It is. It is.
Because nobody
Jones
controls it.
weighing on the issue.
Yeah, but, she said something that was, when she said it, I just smiled because I remember my kids never had phones when they were in school. And it was such a tug of war. They kept on complaining, the day everybody has a phone. Everybody in my class, I'm the only one who doesn't have a phone. And I kept, just what you said, I said, what's their surname again? Do you share the same surname?
Good.
And I said, what do you need a phone for? That everybody has. I said, so you can't have something because everybody has it.
Exactly.
You don't need it. By
Yeah.
the time he finished secondary school, I said, okay, now you're done with secondary school. Let's go get a phone. Now that was another drama. When he gave me
Because
the
of the
specs,
kind of
all
phone
the
he
phone
wanted.
it was 120k. I said, for
For
where?
what?
How?
How much is your salary?
That everybody has. I said, look, stop this everybody matter. He had, in his school, they go for internship in SS3. So he worked at his father's office for about, was it 4 or 5 weeks? And he was gifted some money, 70k. And I put it in his account. This boy told me that, okay, I said, he said, how much are you willing to give me for the phone? I said, honestly, max 50k. He said, okay, I'll go and give me my 70k. So I'll put it together and buy a phone. I said, money. So you want to put all the only money
Resources.
you
Everything
have,
you have into
and
one
buy
phone
phone.
that
I
will
said it
easily
wouldn't
be
happen.
picked out of your pocket somewhere.
Or
We
drop.
went
Tomorrow
round
you come
ever,
back to me to
and
say
we
you
finally
need
got
money.
a phone for, I think it's 72,000. So he actually ended up removing 22,000 from what he had to get that phone. And even then he wasn't happy. And when he got the phone, I said, he was expecting me to give it to him. I said, no, let's get back home. I drew up a contract.
Good.
I drew up a contract. Rules and regulations, what you can and cannot do with the phone. When you drop the phone, he couldn't believe it. Because he was lucky. Immediately he finished school, he got admission into university.
University.
Did you have university?
Wow.
The truth, the thing is, as he was growing, I had a fantastic relationship with my
Poverty
kids.
age.
But as he was growing older, somehow this peer pressure,
Of course.
this influence,
Yes.
and then when he had 7 pieces of beard under his chin,
Oh my God.
I counted
That's
them.
all.
7 pieces. I
Yes.
didn't have
She
pieces.
said she counted
I
it.
counted them. So the influence of social media,
Yeah.
influence of food
Environmental.
and peer pressure,
Yeah.
Pop culture, don't forget
And
pop
culture,
culture.
of course.
and pop
yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they forget that what you see on TV is a mirage.
Absolutely.
It's meant to entertain you. These people have their downtimes off screen
Yeah.
where we don't really even have a full appreciation of what is going on. Look at not Nicki Minaj, the other one that copies her, Cardi B.
Cardi B.
Cardi B has a very raunchy persona. You know, she's
Yeah.
half naked in all her
Yes.
performances, gyrating on stage, doing all kinds of sexual acts and things. Now, she has a song that's extremely X-rated.
Okay.
So she videoed herself. I think it was a live feed.
Yeah.
So she was videoing herself dancing to that really raunchy
Yes.
in her home. And her tiny 2-year-old baby
Wow.
came
remember.
dancing into the room, singing the song. And she quickly ran and put it off.
Yes.
And people were praising her. And I was like, for me, this is the height of hypocrisy. And let me explain why.
Yeah.
The baby was already singing the lyrics of the
She
song.
knew how to sing.
In her baby little voice, she wasn't really catching the lyrics well.
I remember.
But she was
I saw
catching
the-
it,
I
and
saw
she
the
was
clip.
dancing into. And the mother quickly, I said, okay, fine. So you want to sing that song and useless other people's children.
Yeah.
And
They-
your own.
You think
You
you can
feel
protect
yours.
your own from
Enough.
you let's say you don't even
can't.
play your content at home, whether visual or audio, you don't play it at home. Oh, so your baby will never leave the house now.
Because she must go out.
She must go out
And she will
she'll
see
be
it.
exposed to it.
Yeah.
This is the same person who I'm very sure the child will have access to iPads and things like that. I'm sure
course.
there are all kinds of controls you can put on there. But as they get older and begin to learn how to manipulate these devices, because they have so much time on their hands,
They do.
in no time at all those parental blocks and whatever
They can-
are gone. Then your child is accessing both your own raunchy content
Yes.
and other content that you feel, your music is for adults. Any parents that cannot control their child, even you cannot control your child.
Nah.
Once she leaves the house, that's it.
That's all.
You can only control the immediate environment. So if you know that you don't want your child exposed to that content, why are you making the content at all?
In the first place.
Regardless of whether other parents
Yes.
can contain their children
Exactly.
or,
Or
not.
not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you can make it, you should have the mind to let your child, because the child will be exposed to it anyway. Okay, look at Kim Kardashian's battle now with her sex tape and everything and all of this and all of this. She now has 4 kids. And now the minute she and the husband started having issues, he threw that sex tape back in her face again. He had to go and pay money to some people so that they'll not bring her to the part 2. I'm absolutely certain that was a lie.
It's a lie.
He needed to really make her feel
Yes,
like,
yes.
Okay, our relationship is not in a good place anymore. We have 4 kids, and I can denigrate you.
Yeah.
I can make you look bad in front of
Yes.
them.
Destroy
Your
you.
children involved.
And their children. And now, yes, I'm not a huge fan of how Kanye West is approaching the whole issue now, but he has a point. Their less than 10-year-old daughter has a TikTok account. She's on social media.
She is.
The mother claims that she's supervising it. And
She's
it's not a
managing
question
it.
of what you
Lie.
can supervise.
It's a lie.
People, I've come to realize that people ordinarily resent people who are extremely wealthy and successful, regardless of how you got there.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to know the story of your blood,
Yes.
sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
People will start bullying that girl. People will start telling her how she's not as pretty as her mother. In no time at all, somebody will screenshot some of that terrible content and send
And
it to the
send
girl,
it to the girl.
just
Yeah.
to make her feel bad, to reduce her,
Yes.
to play with
Reduce
her
her to
mind.
nothing. Yeah.
So why is your 7-year-old or is she 8-year-old on TikTok
Doing what?
doing
At
what?
that age.
So what can we do to get our children more grounded? Let's bring it home to Nigerian children, African children. What can we do as parents, as aunties, to make them more grounded? I know you are still working, in the mental health sector. Other than talking to them, activities, what else can we do to make them feel like they are part of society. I feel sometimes when I speak to some of these young ones, they say, it's like we ignore them. We don't listen to them. The Gen Zs of this world, we're not we
In
don't
Nigeria,
relate
I think
to
we
them.
call them Indomie generation.
Is it Indomie generation?
Yeah, they are.
That makes yeah, I think I like that Indomie generation. So how are we going to make our Indomie generation more grounded?
Yeah,
I think it starts with us. Really. We
Us.
should be us as parents.
Parents, yeah.
We should be the ideal role models. The truth is
Yeah.
that we've thrown away our responsibility as
Yeah.
parents. We expect the school to do everything.
Everything.
Exactly.
that is
I
it.
see that.
That is
Everything.
it.
Now that I'm a
supposed to be done by
parent,
the
I
school.
see
Yes.
that their parents are just,
Yeah, parents
let
will
the
just come
teachers do
into the
most of
school
it.
and start complaining about their child. They've
Yes.
forgotten that they have a role to play.
But you know
They-
what? In the middle of expecting the school to do all of this, we still tie teachers' hands.
Yeah,
We do.
because
Your
any
teacher-
small thing that a teacher does to a child, the
You
mother
all up in
comes in,
arms.
she
Police
flared up,
and
she comes
soldiers.
and
All up
say,
in
why
arms.
are you touching my child? Why did you punish him? Why did you do this? I had an issue in the class.
Okay.
There was one boy in my class, I won't call name. He looks quiet. When you see him, you won't even believe whatever he does. He
Those are the
can do such
dangerous
things.
ones.
So when he goes home, I think he's the only child of the family. So they are over pampering him. So he goes home, he will keep quiet, pretend, but he had a phone that parents don't know.
Okay.
He does a lot of funny things in school, kick, bullying children. He is not just the quiet person. Even me, I never knew.
Wow.
Until one day, one of the teacher punished him, asked him to go out, and he served punishment. When he got home, he was crying. He painted a wrong picture of what really happened. The mother came as early as 7 a.m. She met me in the office. I want to see you, madam. I said, yes, madam, calm down. What is the issue? She said, uncle so did this. Her child is one of the best. He doesn't make noise. He doesn't do this. And the teacher now brought some sheets of papers that he made him undertaking, that they all wrote, due to some of the behavior. And his own had up to 4 or 5 of undertaking within a week.
Wow.
He kept it in a file. Then he now punished the boy, instead of the mother to come and appreciate what this guy has done to his child. When she went through and saw, we rewind the video for her to see what he was doing.
Right.
She started apologizing. She came to come and scold us and come and tell us anything, because she wasn't in her right mood
was
that
vibrating.
day, vibrating as if she wanted to bring the
So the
school
boy
down.
had like a different persona, a different personality.
He is a different person at home entirely.
Wow.
Most of
What
kids are like that.
I
It's
just
really
told
scary.
them, which day is it? What happened? Madam, calm down. The technician, open the video,
Take the footage.
rewind it back to the date. She gave us the date. We even went backward better. They started seeing how he was bullying children in the class, how he is doing all sort of things. He draws somebody's ear and all this. She saw him. I said, you see this?
You have CCTV in the
I
classes?
have. All the
Okay.
classes, we have
We didn't
CCTV.
have that growing up.
And we have this extension phone, so that the teacher will not leave the class. You will only phone
Okay.
for maybe you need reinforcement or anything, you need somebody to come and help you, or to see something, you will just you just dial the
call.
number. You don't leave the class until they're on break, or you don't have that
Wow.
lesson.
That's good.
So this is how the woman was able to apologize and say to you, people brought your children to our school. You want us to tame them, but you are not helping us at home to continue whatever we have done. You need to study your child. When do you go to the office? When do you come back? You left these children under the care of house help. You don't know what they do. They destroy a lot of things. They will tell lie that it is the house girl. And you people will start scolding the house girl. Not knowing that your children, you just have to, I spoke to her very well, advise her that her responsibility, the first, as the mother of the child, the first thing is to take your child very close to you. Let it be your friend. Know his activities, know things that he does, so that you will not come here and see how disgraceful you are. I'm so ashamed of myself to have seen all this. I never knew this boy was as bad as this. So she agreed, and she said she doesn't want the father to know, that we should please help her out. The father
That's the
has
right
been
approach.
complaining before, but she overpampered. I said, look, you are not helping him. He will not grow well. he will be a burden to you in future. If you don't release him for punishment, release him, call him. It's not every day you punish him. Call him, one-on-one. Why are you doing this to me? You know I love you. Don't do this. There are things you will tell him. If you promise him, redeem it. Don't promise him heavy things that will make him feel maybe you can't afford it now. You haven't. Don't know. If it is granite, you say I buy a packet or a bottle of granite. When you do this, please try as much as possible. And if you are not trying, if you don't have, before the promised date, try to let him know that I was expecting something, but it's like I may not be able to reach out, but I'll do as little as I can do. Be their friend. Be close to them. Advise them often.
Okay.
Check their records. Be close to the teacher to feed you on the information daily. Don't just come and start quarreling with the teacher.
But this
and
is one parent that showed a bit of remorse on a scale of 10. If you have 10 parents that have these kind of challenges,
Yes.
how receptive are our parents to this, what you're telling them to do? Speak to them, bring them close, adopt the carrot and stick approach,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah,
How many
Maslow's
parents
theory of
really take to this advice?
Most of them, it all depends on how you carry this kind of information to parents.
Okay.
Don't let it be open or disgrace the child. One-on-one with the mother. Then you call the child too.
Okay.
Tell him you are my best student. I've been looking out that you're going to be the best child in the school. So please stop these things you are doing. I don't want your friends to know that you are doing this. I've already told your mother you are the best. Try to change. There is a way you do it, and say you are watching on him. Make sure you check their class often and see how far. The person that does very well, you can give him something as a gift that, yes, I have seen changes. And I'm sure these children have changed. Are you changing? They will tell me they are going to change, and they have changed. So this cannot be close to them.
Yeah.
Know their problems. They may have some personal social problem you don't know.
Sure.
Even the mother, she and her husband may not agreeing on some issues.
Exactly.
Try to let her
Exactly.
know. So
let me drag Coach Didi into this. For now, with regard to all this, Hajia has told us so much about the role of parents, teachers, and so on and so forth, and how there's need for some kind of symbiosis.
Yeah.
What about parents in the home? When there is a clash of parenting styles. You see, I've witnessed that in some instances, in quite a few instances, as married as the fact that they are married, they're a couple, sometimes parents can have polar opposites
Divergent
approach,
views.
completely divergent views when
Yeah,
it comes to how the kids should be raised, how
Brought
they
up,
should be
yeah.
parented, and so on and so forth. Do you see this as a challenge with regard to how the children come up?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely, it's a challenge. Because,
It's a challenge.
And that's why when we work with women, I work with women mostly. It's self-awareness. Every human being behaves in a certain way due to 3 reasons. 1, his or her upbringing.
Yeah.
2,
Background.
her environment, his or her environment where they grew up. And then thirdly, significant emotional events that have happened in their lives. That is why we can all look at one situation and have different understanding
Yeah.
of it, because the way you see things is unique to you and is unique to the experiences you've had in your life. So you can imagine when two people come together. He was 35, she was 25. She has lived for 25 years and has had so many experiences.
Yeah.
And the way she was brought up is totally different from how he was brought up.
Yeah.
The experiences he has had. So when they come together, naturally they come with their experiences. The way I see things is totally different from the way you see things. So that's why we have to sit down and talk. I think the major problem is lack of communication.
Yeah.
Between the parents.
Between the parents.
Between the
Yes,
parents, yeah.
Lack of communication, because and let's be honest, most of the time parenting is left to the mother. The fathers are usually not there, and when they are there, most of the time when you finish working on something, they come in with one fell swoop.
Yes,
They just
yes.
bring it all down. Why? And that's not because he wants to spoil everything or he's
That's
out
his
to get
own
you. No,
knowledge about
because
it.
that's his own understanding.
Yes.
That's how his own pattern of
Yeah.
this the way his parents did it.
Did it.
And this is
Yeah.
the way my parents did it. So it boils down to having a communication.
Do you think there's some level of maybe overcompensation involved? For instance, if one parent tends to be too, practically anything goes with the kids, and then the other person is trying, is it possible that this other person is trying to overcompensate for one thing or another? And how do you've spoken about communication,
Yeah.
but some people are so convicted in their beliefs that just having, listen, this is the reason why I feel this doesn't work.
Okay.
So what next?
You have to find a way.
You know,
It's
so
one thing. Sorry, ma'am. It's one thing if you they say that there's this I do a broadcast daily,
Okay.
so people on my that follow me. Today my broadcast was basically on solutions and problems. You see, as a people, we are so focused on the problems we have in our lives and not the solutions. Our mindset, when something happens to us, all we see is that particular problem. And then we begin to wallow. I work with women, and most women I work with, believe me, are suffering from either anxiety or depression. Why? Because we are focused on the problems in our lives and not the solutions or what is good about our lives. And we are focused on things we cannot change and cannot control. If you have a husband who is totally different from you, can you change him? No, you can't.
can't.
And when you live your life trying to change him, you become miserable.
Yeah.
It's an exercise in futility. So you have to understand things you can and cannot control in your life, and then find a way to manage it. And that's basically the core of the
Yes.
matter. He is this way, he cannot change. You are this way. Perhaps you are working on changing. Find a way to communicate.
Yeah.
Find a way. Okay, he's doing
To
it this
manage
way.
him.
When he does it this way, you can still come and tell him, okay, yes, Dad. Not trying to negate his father or make his father smaller, but you can say, okay, yes, Daddy is saying this way. Or you could also add da 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 da. You can't change anyone.
You can't.
But you keep thinking. We have to be creative here. Think of always providing another solution. If this didn't work, what else can I do? If this didn't work,
Have
what
plan
else can
B
I do?
even.
Have a plan. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, have a plan B.
But the thing is, you have to be creative. You keep thinking. You keep
Yeah,
thinking. But you
yeah.
cannot focus on the fact that you are going to change how he thinks. You cannot do that.
But you could help him, because sometimes it all depends on how you present your own issue.
Okay.
If you are so aggressive,
The approach.
yeah, the approach matters a lot. No matter if one is crazy, you can go on the cool side. Try to do something, pretend you don't see him at that time. Probably children are around, or a visitor or whatever. Even if we are quarreling, the moment a visitor comes in, I just chill. And we just move on as if nothing has happened. And we don't even come back to that issue again. It has gone. That visitor has solved the problem. So sometimes it all depends on when you see things. Don't just show. One problem we have with we women is that maybe because some of us are managers, we are directors, we've had big appointment, and thought when our husbands are talking to us, sometimes we just feel, please, I must do this, and that's it. Either you like it or not, but sometimes it has a negative impact on us. There is a way we can call it. We know men, they don't adjust easily, and they feel they are the head of the family, which they are biologically even. So, and we should give them that respect. There is a way you can present your issue, even if you think he may not accept it. But maybe when he's having his dinner, try that day. When I need something from my husband, he will see that day before he comes back, I've done a lot of things that I don't even do sometimes. Cleaning his room, trying to fix all his boxes, fix his things, do all this. He will come and say, I'm sure something is happening in this house today. I know you need something. I say, no, it's not like that. I just feel like doing it. And so when we're eating and I can chill in the issue and say, I know, I've seen some signs. I say, yes, I have to do it to get your buy. So sometimes
We have a message that came in. This program is educative. I have also learned a lot on how to handle children at home. Keep educating parents. The truth is that women have a special role in training children because most children are more close to the mothers, and that's from Honorable Uko. Thank you for sending that in. Now, we've talked about mental health and the children relating with the husband. What about ourselves? What can we do? It's our day.
That's a
What
very
can
good.
we do
That's
for
a very,
ourselves?
very good.
It's not always about going to the spa.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. Just as Coach Didi said, we are an end product of three things: how we were raised, the environment, and emotional experiences, right?
Significant emotion.
yes,
You see, we have the other day, on social media, I'm on social media a lot. Sometimes you see men expressing dismay that they've lost count of how many Mother's Days we have, and yet there are no Father's Days, and so on and so forth. Now, the thing is, mothers have this almost demigod responsibility of holding down the household, raising the children well, and then in some instances you're earning you go to work,
Yeah.
you come back, you're the main caregiver for the kids. Your house has to be spick and span, you have to handle the meals, and so on and so forth. There are many women out there who are quietly losing their minds and taking it out on the children.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not because they want to be cruel or mean or bad or nasty, no. But sometimes you're so frustrated that that piece of paper lying in that corner just is like smoke
Irritated
starts
you,
coming
yes.
out of you because you just swept that place. You just mopped that area. Why are there 3 pieces of paper on the ground there? And that person is not incapacitated. They are not sick. They are not mentally ill. Before you know it, the roar that comes out of you, yeah? Even whoever it is that's helping you in the house begins to. And that is
Okay.
because you are not looking after your own mental health.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Women should be allowed to make mistakes, have downtime.
Downtime.
Obviously, downtime.
Women should be
Very
allowed.
essential.
If you are the
Downtime is
kind of
key.
husband whom my wife must not go out, please allow your wife to go out.
Yes.
It will reduce the number of beatings for the children. The maid
Yeah. Shouting.
shouting, screaming, it
Yeah.
will reduce. The shouting and the screaming and all these things are not because we want to. It's coming from a place of either anxiety, great tension, stress,
Yeah.
and then sometimes before you know it, you are not approachable to the children.
Yeah.
There's a wall around you
Around
that
you,
you
yes,
didn't even
yes.
know you have created.
Yeah.
But it's not deliberate. It's from a place of you trying to wear too many hats, manage. And how long ago were you yourself a kid?
Not
Not too long.
Especially if you married young.
Yeah.
You're
Like
still
me.
feeling your way around. You still, every now and then, you still want to run back to your mom and ask her one or two things and
we
things
do
like that.
ask.
No parent comes with the parenting handbook.
Oh, thank you.
Not at all.
Yeah.
You
You've said
roll
it all.
you roll
You've
with the
said it all.
punches.
Yeah.
You
You
know.
roll with the punches.
So, with regard to the role of women, yes, we are mothers, homemakers. We need to earn a living, look after our men, and so on and so forth. But women should be encouraged to look after themselves, not just with regard to physical health, but also mental health.
mental health.
Doctor, any last words as we are running out of time to the women out there who are watching you?
Yeah, women. Today is our day. There are a lot of issues that we need to handle, but we are running out of time. One, we should cooperate among ourselves, work hard, develop our skills, and then be self-reliant. We should not be at home, sitting and sleeping and snoring, that the man is a director, the man is a minister or whatever. He will take care of the responsibility. It's not done that way. We kept on agitating for 35 affirmative action, which is our right, we know. But we know the kind of men we are with in this African country, not only Nigeria. They wouldn't want us to aspire higher. But we are the ones that will work towards actualizing whatever we want to be. And with what we have put in, our effort, we will achieve it. I'm sure. And we are not still happy with what happened at the National Assembly. We are the people that vote more than the men.
Sure.
We deserve this. You have children, you have wife, you have mothers. It might not be our own time for the enjoyment. We, other children that are coming behind, most of your children are doctors, they are lawyers, they are all this. They will enjoy this thing. Please relax your mind and approve this and assent to it. Make sure we get it. It's our right. We must get it because we are very functional in the society. We contribute greatly to the economic development of this country. Almost 70% of women are not in civil service work. Most of them are doing manual job, farming and doing a lot of funny things. Please help us out. We need your help. And we need our women to come out en masse. If it means going to lobby, going to appeal to them, campaign, we should come out to meet these people at the National Assembly to look at how they got to that office. It is not a permanent office. We still need them. They still need us. We are going to add value to this country. We need to be at the decision making chairs, please.
That's fantastic. I think one message came in before I take your old last words. It says, "Can a child be trained at home if you have money?" So I'm not really sure what if a child can be trained
I
at
think
home.
the person is referring to homeschooling.
Schooling, yeah.
I don't know if you
Oh,
do it in
okay.
Yeah, they do.
Nigeria.
Homeschooling.
Oh, it's done.
It's been done.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's not too good because he won't have competitors. He will be a loner in the school. And the idea of going to school is to mix with other children. Is like competition. They are
Some people have
competing.
done
This
it
one want to be
successfully
first, I will be
abroad.
second. You said what?
I was saying people have done homeschooling very
They've
successfully
done it,
abroad.
but you will see the school, they go through school, but a school did not go through them.
It's
Yes.
not something that
It's
I would,
not proper.
even,
I
it's
won't
not
even
something
assent to
I
it.
would want my child to
To
mingle
mix,
with other
yes,
people.
mix and mingle.
Yeah, have
It
problems.
gives
develop
them courage.
Solving skills.
Yeah.
Fight if need be.
Yeah,
Quarrel.
do a lot
How
of
do you think you were going
things.
to
Those
go
are
there?
the fun he will say in future that this is my
socializing
classmate and all this, but an isolated class. No,
I don't.
it's
I
not.
don't
It's
like
not
it.
proper. I don't
You know,
like it.
over there they are extremely individualistic, so maybe it works
Yeah.
for them. Here we have something different. We're communal.
Yes,
we are.
So it's
We are
not.
very
It's
communal.
not something I like.
That's why they brought fork and spoon to separate us. We eat in a tray before together.
eat with our
Your saliva, your mucus, we mix with the rice and everything. We eat it together and drink water. But now, when you has brought fork and spoon just to separate us, we don't want it. We still want to be what we are like
We
before.
still want. We all want to eat
So,
together.
Coach Didi, what last words do you have for us?
I think I'm going to go with what you said. There's no health without mental health.
Yeah.
And I'll tell women that it's okay not to be okay. Because the most problems is because we live in this society where we're so afraid of the village people mentality. They will laugh at me, they will point fingers at me. So, like you said, women are struggling.
Yeah.
We are struggling, trying to balance life, work, children, everything. It's an uphill task. I do work-life balance training for people, and I'm still struggling with work-life balance for myself. So I want women to understand that whatever you're going through, whatever you're feeling, the overwhelm is natural because of all the things you have to take, and it's okay to talk about it.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid because they will talk about me, they will do this to me. It's
Speak
okay
out.
to speak out
Speak
if you're not
out.
doing well, and there are actually people out there who can help.
Yeah.
And
Such as.
mental health first aiders, coaches, and counselors, therapists.
Even your friends, colleagues.
There's so much stigma
Yeah.
attached to it that people are
Yeah.
afraid to even see a therapist. We want people to. That's why we're doing the mental health awareness so that people understand it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay
It's
not
okay.
to be okay.
It's not anything.
Yeah, but seeing a mental health therapist is expensive.
Yeah,
Is it
not
expensive?
Yes, it's kind of
It's
expensive.
expensive.
But
It's pricey.
It's expensive. Yeah, it's expensive. But then,
Yeah,
is it not? Is your life not expensive more than
But
that?
you have the money. If you have it, why
No,
not?
like a friend now. I know we've known each other, and she will come down to our
Yeah,
level.
right? But like you see, for me, like I said, it is expensive. For me, I run. Sometimes I have been running for some time at a mosque in Apo. I do group coaching and counseling for women who can afford it. It started actually as an English class because the remote women were complaining they couldn't communicate with their teachers in school. When they go to the hospitals, they cannot communicate with the nurses.
Yes, and doctors,
I came up with this idea of having a class every Friday morning, teach them basic things in English, how to communicate, and then it actually went in. It became another mental health class. So for people who can afford it, there are actually people out there. I work with an NGO that also provides services like this for people who can't afford it. Now there's a difference between those who can afford it and those who don't think they
can't
should
afford
pay for it.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Even admitting that you need to see a specialist
Yes.
It's one
it's a
step
big
in the
step.
right
Yeah,
direction.
it's a big
huge
step.
step.
For me to say, okay, I think I let go of my emotions. I blow up very easily. The children, I'm cranky all the time. I should speak to
There's
someone.
something wrong. I need to.
Yeah, there's something wrong. I need to talk to someone about it. That's a big step for any woman.
Yeah.
Even as a woman with a large social media following, as a woman who's dabbled into politics, do you have any words for our conversation women out there as we celebrate Women's Day?
Well, I would say that let's also appreciate our men.
Yeah.
Some of them are true blue, as the Americans would say. Some are really supportive, some
Yeah.
are fantastic, and so on
Yeah.
and so forth.
They're great men.
And some carry great loads as well, and so on and so forth. So let's appreciate our men. Let's get them to understand that these rights we're asking for, that we're trying to get, you walk well when you have two functional legs. not when you are limping. So this body will be carried better if both legs are working fine than if one leg is muscular and strong and the other one has withered.
All right, so that's been the International Women's Day celebration here in the Conversations Room. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again with a more interesting topic at another time. Take care and goodbye.